Yeah.
And we are live.
Oh shit.
Oh, we are. Let me send it over.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to our season 3 of the Collective Espionage finale. We are here with V and Cake joining us tonight. Congratulations to the both of you again for making it all the way. You both have beaten 18 other uh players in this game, and we are down to the two of you. So, once again, thank you to the both of you. Thank you to the jury. Thank you to the pre-jury, and thank you to everyone who has been paying attention. But before we can crown a winner, we got to do our lovely final two speeches and jury questioning. So, as you know, we will both players will have up to 10 minutes to do their final pleas. I believe V has decided to let Cake go first, followed by V. As we know, after them, each juror will have 10 minutes themselves to ask anything they want. Just a reminder to all the jurors, you will have 10 minutes, and the lovely Lily will be letting you all know when you are down to the final seconds. After that, you guys will have another 10 minutes to do your final pleas. And then we will all vote and crown a winner. So, like I said, I wish you both the best of luck. Take a deep breath. This is all fun and games. Well, it's all fun and games, I guess. So with that, we will start with the jury. Oh no, I'm sorry. We're gonna start with Cake with your speech. And I believe Lily will be starting your time. So whenever you start talking, Lily will start your time. Okay? Good luck.
All right, Lily, I'm ready. Hello, members of the jury. I just want to thank you all for being such an amazing cast. That not only goes to you, but it also goes to pre-jury. This has by far been my favorite cast. Getting to know everyone has really been great. I haven't had the best times in long terms, and it makes me proud to be here, just having all these new friendships. But I also want to thank you for your time, and I don't want to run it up too much. I know that there are some myths saying that I didn't make moves or I was carried by my circle. And at the end of the day, I could wholeheartedly say I was not carried by my circle, and I actually did make moves. From day one, as soon as we got our circles, I made sure that I had to make connections outside of my circle, just in case if my circle wasn't there to save me or something happened in our circle, I had a Wi-Fi, which ended up benefiting me quite a few times. I also have shown that I was willing to turn my back and ignore my circle because by getting out Cam, and also there was a plan to tie it the round Kevin, myself and Zoe were on the block, where V and Alex wanted to tie it to keep us, and we'd go to the final four. I immediately went to Kevin and Scott and said, "They are trying to do this to get you out. I don't want this because at the end of the day, Zoe was my biggest competitor out of our circle, and I had to make sure that I was sitting here and not Zoe, and I got the votes 3-1. I can also say I showed up to every challenge and tried my best to push myself to show that I could be a force to be reckoned with, and I wasn't a detriment to my circle weighing them down. I believe I punched the clock and showed what time it was, especially during both live nights, especially live night 2 when we had the betting challenge and I went up against some of the biggest comedies that there are and ultimately got first prize overall for that one. I also have been driving forces outside of my circle to get out major comp threats like Sanam, Seb, John and Zach, Cam, Timmy and Vicky, and Zoe from planting seeds to get out bigger comp threats. So that way I would be in a better position at the end. When I look at my game, looking back on it, there's two main components to it. It was being sociable and competitions. Sociable, I want to say I was one of the few bigger social threats in this game. I always talk to people, try to build connections, and did the damn thing because at the end of the day, this is a solo game, not a circle game. I love my circle, however, I gotta put me first. For competitions, I placed in collective 6 out of 14 times, and 2 of those I got first over. I love my good sis B down, however, it's between night and day who has done better socially and physically. And if you're coming in tonight struggling with the myths that I've shared, you need to realize that those are misperceptions of the truth. What I need for you to do as a jury is to listen tonight and realize who gave the most during this game and truly recognize the truth of who did what throughout the game. And when you look at the facts, I deserve to be the favorite going into tonight. And I deserve to be having the crown at the end. I feel like you all don't need to sit here for 10 minutes and listen to me ramble because that's a waste of your time. And also, words are difficult. But I think you and I both know, feel, and think that I'm the winner tonight, regardless of whatever outcome, whether I win, lose, or draw. So I look forward to answering all of your questions and showcasing my game. Again, I've loved getting to play with every single one of you, and I hope you see how much I put hard work and dedication and love into this game. Thank you so much for your time.
All right. Thank you, Cake. And now we will move on to V. V, your time will start when you start speaking.
Cool. Does that count? Can I do like a cheers before my time starts? I'll just do a cheers. Cheers if anyone's drinking. Because it's been a long season. We deserve it. I just want to start off by saying thank you to everyone for playing. Thank you for Prod for hosting. It was a fantastic season, fantastic cast. And it was like, I don't know, original format. I don't know how we all did this shit, but it was great. So I know there's probably a lot of questions about what I did this game, because to be honest, I was kind of trying to play it like I wasn't doing a lot. And maybe in some eyes I wasn't. But that was a whole ploy. So when I started this game, I started from the ground running. And that was in the very first challenge, being the formation challenge, which I threw as hard as I could. I took a nap for those 10-minute video, and I was like, I don't want to hear any of this. Because I figured if I did bad in that comp, I would be placed with people in a better comp. And I think that is a contributing factor as to why our circle was as strong as it was. Also, coming into this game, I will admit there was a lot of luck in the fact I did have such a great circle. I'm not stupid enough to say like, oh, I did like everything. My circle helped me a lot. But realizing that as soon as the game started, my goal was never to win competitions. My goals was never to be placing high and become like a comp threat like other people were trying to do. My main goals were trying to stay low, let my circle take me further into the game, because at the beginning we had to rely on each other, and trying to build connections. Now I know there's a lot of you right now probably being, what connections did you build? Because being honest, I was like, I had a busy life. I couldn't be around all the time. And that is unfortunate. Usually I go into a game having a better social game, and I can admit my social game wasn't amazing this season, but I had to allocate and prioritize my time. So I prioritized my time to my inner circle and people who I thought were better at competitions because they would have a better chance at saving me. So people like Scott, people like John, I tried to talk to them more and give them more like on calls and stuff too, because I couldn't call with everyone. That's just like a fact. So was that, and just trying to prevent any ties, because if there was a tie, I don't know if I would have been nominated. I was like active enough to not be considered inactive, but I still hadn't had the strongest relationships that other people had. I was also very blessed to have such a close relationship with Zoe. Zoe knew everyone in this fucking cast, Jesus Christ. And everyone was just feeding her information, and she would run to me and feed me information. And what did I do with that information? Nothing. I just sat on it and I withheld it because I didn't want people to think that I actually knew anything. I was just having a merry old time until the later points in the game. I feel like I was kind of just trying to do what I could until the second live night came, and I realized, oh, wow, I'm actually in a good position. I should be putting in so much more effort than I was. Because at the beginning, I was unsure how I was going to work with my work. So going into the middle of the game, I think live night is when I started to come alive. I started to win comps. We got out Cameron, which was a great move for like the four of us. I think our circle worked great collectively. We had a lot of group decisions. It wasn't like one person doing it or being like the mastermind or front running. I think we had a collective effort to make it further. And we also made our and we got rid of Cameron. And then going into the last part of the game. So for the jury, I support women's rights and women's wrongs, but a woman did a lot of wrong this game, and I can admit that woman was me. So I just want to start by apologizing to, first of all, Vicky. I never meant for that to get as messy as it did. I thought in my mind there was still a spy in the game, and me pretending to be that spy would work in my favor and also maybe figure out if there was a spy still in our circle. I feel like I ended up just giving false hope to someone in a game where that shouldn't have happened, and it could have come across as very like assholey. It was like abuse of power. That's never how I intended it. Love you. I also want to apologize to everyone else. I know in this game, because I played a lot of games, I was very non-committal. I would be like, I don't know what I'm doing this round. And then I would just say anything. A lot of times I was at work or something, I just didn't have time to reply. But I should have been more forthcoming about having a strong opinion about what I was doing. Like, for example, when I voted out John, I knew I was going to vote him out. I don't know why I just didn't tell him. I really don't. And I apologize if anyone was ever offended by that. Not how I meant to come across. But after live night, since I had no visibility, I wanted to become more visible. And I think that really happened with me causing a lot of mass hysteria, which, I mean, I fully believe there was another spy, but made everyone believe that, kind of turning tables. And then I think I really shined at Final 7 onward. Final 7 was a big round for me. I was on the block, but I also told Cake it was totally fine to put me on the block. I was willing to do that. As a way to atone for my sins of being really messy, I didn't want to break any more promises. And I had promised Zoe and Scott a Final 4 deal in our little thruple alliance to get rid of Alex if he was nominated. I promised Cake and Alex to take them further. And also Alex, I had the best chance of probably beating in the end or like making it further with and convincing. And then I also needed to get rid of Caitlin because I had a really close relationship with Scott and I knew he would go for back to me in the jury. So I needed to make sure that Scott made jury. So I needed Caitlin out because I didn't want to prolong getting Scott out. So I did that. I managed to convince people to save me. At Final 6, I managed to convince Alex to betray his Final 2 and save me on the block because I kept telling him that I had no chance at winning, but I don't think that was necessarily true. And then also, full disclosure, as soon as Alex told me that Cake knew that we were splitting the votes, I said to Alex, so, oh great, so now everyone knows. So I'd make the conscious effort to vote Zoe out, knowing that she would still give me immunity and I would make it to Final 4. And then Final 3, I ended up winning immunity, and I think I did great in the comps when I needed to pull out comps. For another question, in case this is like running in people's minds, is why did this group stay together? For me, it was simple. I wanted to stay with my inner circle because I knew all 3 of them would take me to the end at the end. So why would I get rid of any of them? So I just wanted to keep going with that and masking my own threat level to kind of minimize anything that could happen in the future. I think I've hit enough points. I'm sure there's a lot of things I missed. I look forward to the questions that I will be answering. But other than that, thank you for listening, and I look forward to hearing the questions, and cheers.
All right, thank you very much, V. And with that, we will get into the jury question portion of this evening, with our first juror being Nick. Reminder that you have 10 minutes to ask your questions. Okay.
Oh, y'all thought I was gone. Y'all thought I was gone. No, I'm still here. Hello, congratulations to you 2 lovely individuals. I'm so proud of both of you. Full disclosure, I was coming into this leaning one way. Now I don't know. So my vote is very much in play. So I know that I did not last very long and I was not particularly active. So V, props to you for making it work while working. But my big question is, had I made it, and this is to both of you, had I made it further in the game, was I going to be a pawn to either of you? Was I going to be somebody you wanted to work with? What was the vibe with me? I'm just curious. Anybody can go first. It doesn't matter to me.
The floor is yours.
I can go first. You know, if the circumstances were different, I would have looked forward to working with you, but in this game, I would have to say no. There was so much mass hysteria about who the spies were and what they were doing. And I kind of figured out that I would never figure out who the spies were, because in my eyes, everyone was a spy. So for me, one of my bigger priorities was actually just eliminating circles in full. Because when you eliminate circles, you eliminate the possibilities of who can be the spy. So since your circle was kind of gone early.
A mess.
Yeah, I really did want you and Rachel to leave just so I could narrow down the options of who it could possibly be.
All right, cool. Thank you. Cake?
Hi, Nick. First of all, thank you for the question. You know I love you down, and I will always tell you the truth. Love you down, babes. But you did not text me. Fuck all this season. I love you down. You as a person, love you. You as a game player in this game, realistically speaking, I couldn't have seen working with you just because you weren't giving me anything. I would be like, hey, do you want to schedule a one-on-one so we could try and like talk game? We never talked game at all. Besides like, hey, how are you? Then some days would go by and we also have a but
Yes, exactly.
at the end of the day, you're still an amazing person, but I would have to say that, unfortunately.
Awesome. All right. And then one final question for the two of you, because again, I don't want to take up too much time. So I've talked to both of you throughout this game about my lip syncing. So what song would you use to describe me? Not as a game player, because as a game player girl, that no, but as a person, what song do you hear and you would think, okay, that's Nick Day coded?
Like for you, a
Kate,
song for us or a song for you?
a song for me, because it's about, I want to make it about me for 2 seconds.
I love you, babes. You are a, how do I say this politely? You are very much have two left feet. So I can see you pulling a kimchi and doing the hokey pokey, babe. I mean that with all love, no tea, no shade, but the hokey pokey for you because you would have a camp time. And as long as you're having fun, that's all that matters. So be.
If we're talking about it in this game, it would just be like the static of a TV. But if we went into the future in a game you were more active, I could see you being like a Dangerous Woman by Ariana Grande. Kind of like, it's just dangerous, but people still want to get close to her.
Period. Well, congratulations to you both. I wish I could have gotten to know you both a little bit better and spent a little more time in the game, but honored to be on the jury. Congratulations. Thank you to all of production for everything, and best of luck.
Oh, my fingers.
All right. Thank you, Nick. We will move on to our next lovely juror, who is Rachel. And Rachel, once you start talking, I will start your time.
Okay, sounds great. Congrats to you both. Again, it was great to hear your opening statements, and it was great to play with you both, for as long as I was part of the game. It was a lot of fun to get to know you and everyone else in the jury and cast. I had a blast with this org game, but same here. I don't think I'll need the whole 10 minutes. But just kind of to expand on what you both said in your opening statements, my question is, why do you think you deserve to win over your opponent? And anyone can start.
I started last time.
Fine. Why do I think I deserve to win over my opponent? Absolutely. Thank you for the question again. Love V down. However, I could say at the end of the day, I showed up every time and tried my best, regardless if I had materials or not. I did the best I could. I feel like towards the end game, I started picking it up, had a lot of shining moments. And if you want to look at comps, you can look at that. But also, you can look at my social game as well. I want to say I played a pretty balanced game, managed my threat level, and also was trying to be as sociable as possible. So I hope that answers your question.
Okay. So I will address this because I don't know if it's going to be a common thing. I am not going to be too apologetic about the fact that like at the beginning of the game I wasn't showing up to things, right? And like it's my job, it's my life. Like I have to take care of that first. But there was something I learned a long time ago, and it's quality over quantity. I made the most with the time I had, and I didn't have as much time as everyone else. And the quality of the conversation and calls that I had propelled me forward, especially like building those connections in my inner circle. I made that time that I could, and I think I put in a lot of effort towards that. I think I played a phenomenal game because I truly don't think I felt that threatened to ever go home at any point in this game. I was never that worried.
Okay, that was great. I think I have one more question, pretty similar. What do you think was the most important part of the game, the most important part of your gameplay? I think you both touched on that a little bit, but it's really interesting to hear how your answers were very different. So,
I guess I'll go first. What was the question again? Like, what was the most important part of our gameplay?
yes.
I do think I hate repeating myself. Sorry, my ADHD. I do think the most important part of my gameplay, which like it's hard for people to on the outside to see because they weren't a part of our circle, was how I positioned and socialized within my circle. 3 people wanting to take me out of the 3 people to the end, which I think was amazing. And I think also being that comfortable and having like Zoe pick me for immunity, Zoe picking me when she won competitions, Alex picking me when they won competitions. I really think that is a huge factor as to why I'm here.
Can I have the question repeated? I'm sorry. I like disassociate sometimes when I'm like just like listening to everything because I want to take everything in as possible.
Yeah, of course. Just what was the most important part of like, what did you focus on most in your gameplay? What was the most important part to you?
I want to say making the connections in the second circle. Because at the end of the day, yes, my circle was strong. Yes, we did kill a lot of the challenges. But at the end of the day, I had to prepare myself because there was going to be a moment where not all of us made it into the club. Not all of us killed the challenges. I had to rely on the bonds I had started making from day one. And I feel like that was like the best part of like why I'm here. Because I tried my best to make the best bonds between everyone. Whether sometimes it worked out great or sometimes it fizzled out. I feel like that is like the true definition of like the best part of like in my game.
Okay, thank you both. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you very much for those lovely questions, Rachel. Our next juror is John.
Bye.
Oh, back again. Oh, it's been lovely missing you all. I really missed you guys like a hangnail. Oh, I mean, taking shots. I've been doing shots left and right. Just listen to the two of you talk so far. Oh,
God.
oh. Two of you, I mean, you're just putting me through this madness here. I mean, I've been having to sit through this awful jury for God knows how long now. I've had to pretty much take a nap. I've been getting beat up by my students worse than y'all beat me up. Because I mean, let's just put rip the band-aid off. You guys had mob mentality. You pretty much you want to do your final circle, go for it. Sure. I'm not gonna touch on that. V, I'm not gonna touch on your beginning, cake, the other stuff. B, I came to realize B had your own wake up time. 3 o'clock my time was going to be your wake up time. You need to learn that about certain people. But I need to know certain things here because you know what? You kind of just, with hit mob mentality, we have a shit jury management. And because you know what? You get rid of a whole bunch of the jury early on, you don't really get to know what the fuck we're thinking. So, right now, we're going to do that good old classic game of where the fuck do you think this jury is going to vote before we even get into the meat and bones of everybody else here. So, go ahead, close your eyes. I'm going to be the one talking here. I'm going to give you a jury member name, and I want you to raise your hand if you think that that jury member is going to go ahead and vote for you tonight. All right, we'll start off with Nick. All right, raise your hand if you think Rachel. Raise your hand if you think me. Raise your hand if you think Zach will have your vote. Raise your hand if you think Timmy will have your vote. Raise your hand if you think Vicky will have your vote. Raise your hand if you think Kevin will have your vote. Raise your hand if you think Scott will have your vote. And lastly, raise your hand if you think that Alex will have your vote. All right, good. Go ahead, put those hands down. Raise, you can open those eyes back on up because I've got another question or two. Because you know what? I've got time and you got to deal with me. So we are going to be dealing with the wonderful question of, because you know what? It's a game. Everybody fucks up at some point in this game. I want to know what your biggest mistake was and how you overcame that mistake. Because let's put it this way, nobody played a perfect game. I want to hear that you guys own up to your mistakes. Go with whomever first. I don't care.
I can go.
Oh.
Or you go first.
You sure?
Yeah, go.
Okay. Thank you for that question, John. I feel like one of my biggest mistakes is leading people on about if they were staying or not. There were certain people I told they were absolutely good and golden and was trying to campaign for them to stay. But there were certain people where I kind of fumbled the ball and didn't say how they were voting, didn't respond back to their plea, even though it might have been short or we just didn't connect as much. I feel like that was one of my biggest detriments, and also playing very emotionally. Once I get attached to people, I hate ripping band-aids off. And I feel like if I could be blunt to someone, I can. However, sometimes with other relationships in this game, I couldn't because we didn't have that connection. So I hope that answers your question.
Like, I think I kind of touched on this earlier. I think like my social game was like probably amazing in my inner circle. Outside of my inner circle, it was very, very questionable. And I can say that. I apologize to Vicky. I was like, sorry, John. I was very wishy-washy because I was just trying to not cause waves and go with whatever people were doing. I didn't know what people were doing most of the time. I like honestly just wish I could have had more time to get to know people and also probably manage them better if I had been more forthcoming with what I was doing, because usually I am, and just been like, hey, I'm voting you. Hey, I'm not saving you. Hey, this and that. I think it would have been managed, and also I could have given an explanation. I think I was just scared in my mind that people would take that information and throw me under the bus and slander me. But in realistically, I probably didn't have to worry about it. I just think I was overly anxious. So yeah, I can admit that my social game outside my inner circle was not the most prosperous. I'm sorry if that answer was bad. It made you take another shot.
No, I just needed a drink.
Oh, you know what? Same.
I'm parched. Because this has all been so dry so far. And warm-up act because there's going to be so much more spice coming on down the road. Which, I mean, I want to thank Prod for giving us this full 10 minutes because I'm like Michael, I'm not a minute man. So I'm happy for the fact that I can be lasting for this long period of time. So just be aware, answer these questions to the fullest because this jury is wide open. We are ready to listen. We're ready to slap you guys around and have some fun with it. So just be ready for the fun that's yet to come.
Oh, God,
Cheers and bye.
I need to borrow that wig after this because that wig is eating.
John didn't even introduce the costume.
Thank you, John Farrell. Next up, we have the lovely Zach.
One second. Okay. Hello, you two. You both look lovely tonight. And wish you all the best. Congrats. You made it farther than any of us did. So I commend you for that. Mob mentality, as John said, that's neither here nor there, honestly. I'm just going to go ahead and get right to it. So let's start with Cake. some of the jury, or a lot of the jury, talked about the emotional aspect of your game a little bit. Whenever someone went against you or anything like that, some people were just turned off a bit because this is from their perspective. I didn't experience this from you, but I want to see, do you, if you were able to redo what had happened or any doors that may have been closed, whether through emotions or anything like that, how would you do it differently?
That is a very complex and challenging question for me. I mean, I'm someone who wears my emotions on my sleeve. I wear my heart on my sleeve. I play these games personally, not because everyone should. It's just because I like having a personal connection. And I feel like I'm a very emotional person, as a lot of people say. To your question, what I could go back is I wish I could go back to be completely honest and transparent. Because there were some times where I didn't respond to anyone when they were getting voted out. And I would be like, you have any insight? If I didn't vibe with you, I didn't say anything. And that's probably one of my biggest regrets that I could go back on. It's just being completely transparent and honest. Because I claim to have played a very honest and transparent game. It's just looking back and reflecting on it, I could see why people have a consensus. So I hope that answers your question.
It does. A follow-up question. Can you specifically name who you may think these people are?
I honestly don't know what people, being completely honest, like I wish I had an answer, but I don't. I don't know which people I wish. Like, if someone felt that way while we were still in the game, they could have been like, hey, I feel XYZ. Can you just like explain to that? But at the end of the day, shit happens. All I can do is go back and reflect and say how I wish I could have done better in all the things I have done wrong and take accountability.
Okay. Trying to think of a question for you, V, because I'll be honest, I've been honest to the jury this whole time. We really didn't have many conversations more outside of which you've explained throughout your own life. I can completely understand that. Why? Okay, here's the question though. So the reason for you not being present at the beginning was your life, completely understandable. But for the end game, why should people vote for you over Cake? Because in this specific instance, because Cake was there a lot, she had a lot of conversations, and I feel like in general, people are going to go against her a lot because she had more conversations with other people versus it's hard to nitpick anything that you did because there weren't as many conversations or as much as quote unquote backstabbing or anything like that. I just want to know, should we commend you for your end game? But by doing that, we're just ignoring everything you did in the beginning and mid game.
Full transparency, you can think that I didn't do backstabbing. I think I backstabbed more than Cake did, 100%. I lied to Zoe and voted her out, and she gave me immunity when she was supposed to be my final two. I told Alex he was my final two, and then he saved me on the block, and then I voted him out. I made Scott a final four deal, which I literally, as soon as I made that deal, I ran to my prod chat and said, I can't wait to get Scott out. I was not loyal. But even though I had less conversations, people believed me more. People talked to me and they thought that I was with them. So, I mean, I'm fully aware about the fact I probably played a lot more villainous than people can understand. Even myself sometimes. I'm such a good liar. But I really do think I put in that time and effort to trick people and have them on my side.
Okay.
I was definitely
yeah. So one last thing, while we're limited on time. V, I want to know, why should people vote for Cake over you? And Cake, I want to know why people should vote for V over you. And V can go first.
Oh god damn it, the one question more. Honestly, I just want to commend Cake because Cake has not nearly as much org experience as me, and I think they did a fantastic job. I really do think that Cake played a fairly good social game from what I've been told. I think that Cake was having conversations with a lot of people and keeping options open and avenues open about how she could proceed through the game, which is something that I always commend.
Why I think you should vote for V over me is because V did a lot better, at least from what I was perceived in the game, with making conversations and saying, okay, I'm gonna vote you out or I'm not gonna vote you out. I feel like sometimes that's where I lacked, but the overall gives me a good run for my money with the social game. The social game is something like that is so mind-boggling to me, and something I have to give the her flowers for. Like, really amazing top tier.
Okay. Only because I like to run out the time because why not? I'm on the jury, may as well. One last question for both of you, which $1 million question. It's throwback to Survivor. I'm thinking of a number 1 through 10.
I was never good with. I'll go with 7.
I'm gonna go
Okay.
with 6.
Bitch. I would have done that too if I got the second choice. I'm kidding.
It's all good. Love you both. You both, as I said, you lasted longer than any of us. Nothing but love for both of you. I went out with a bang, and that's all I wanted to do. So fuck both of you. I hate you for making it to the end. Just kidding. But all love, peace, and y'all keep on killing it.
Thank you very much, Zach. And with that, we will bring in our next juror, which is Timmy.
Oh my god.
Hello, friends. I decided it is Halloween weekend still, nonetheless, it was on a Thursday. There could be 2 weekends. So I had fun with it. Gonna start off with this. Final twos can be hard. How are you both doing?
I thought the jury was going to be a lot more bitter and angry. I'm happy. Everything seems pretty good. I'm chilling.
Good.
I would be lying if I said I feel 100% good right now. I'm very nervous. I've never been in this position before. I don't know what to expect. And I'm just looking forward to hearing more and more questions because that can give me an insight to how you guys perceived my game and how I can elaborate.
Awesome. So I do have a question for both of you. It is the same question, and that question is how many times can I say the word question? It is, what was your plan B if something did happen to your circle? Cake, you can go first.
What would be my plan B? I want to say, I made deals with Alex day one. As soon as I found out Alex was on my thing, I said, no matter what, we're going to be final two. Then the next day, B came to me with final two. So my backup plan was literally go to the end with them, cut everyone else. Doesn't matter what I have to do. If I have to lie, cheat, steal, stab in the back, I front, left, center. Doesn't matter what I have to do because at the end of the day, I have to put myself first and go with my plan A, B, and C.
I have a follow-up on that because I didn't really answer my question much. Because that was 2 different final twos within your circle. This was if there's only, and I could have phrased it better, if it is you and someone else left in your circle, the rest of your circle decimated, how do you make sure you get to the end?
I make sure that I have someone who would be good at challenges so that way we could stay safe and to win that final four challenge and ultimately have us in the final two. So I would probably have said that would have been either Alex or Zoe, being completely transparent.
Okay. Thank you, Cake. V.
To put it plain and simple, it was Scott. I'm like 99% sure that Scott probably would have taken me to Final Four if my circle had collapsed in on itself, which it didn't. Woo. But like I had Scott is probably actually even maybe more so than my inner circle was the strongest relationship I built in this game. And I put a lot of effort into that. So if shit did hit the fan, I did think that Scott would have my back, and I'm pretty sure he would have.
Okay, thank you both. I'm gonna just use a little bit of time just to admire my appearance right now because I put
Honestly.
effort into it. It looked better last weekend when I got drunk. But on that being said, cheers.
Cheers.
Yes.
And I do want to say you both look lovely.
Thank you.
And because I can be a narcissist, I'm gonna just talk a little more about my feelings. At the end of the day, you both did what no one else could do. You made it to the end, however you did it. No matter what happens at the end of this game, both of you need to be proud of yourselves. Remember that. Keep moving forward because fuck them bitches, you know? And what else can I do for 6 minutes? There was one time I ran a scavenger hunt at a finale with the jurors. That was fun. I'm not going to do it, don't worry. But you know, getting the nerves in your mind for even just a couple minutes is exciting for me. I say minutes, it was 3 seconds. But you know, how about
Tell us about your last weekend.
no, it's not about me right now. We'll talk about it later. Right now, I just want you guys to tell me what was your favorite moment overall. It doesn't have to be about a move or something, but your favorite moment during this season.
Okay, I have one. I have one for this.
Perfect. I was going to tell you to go first, anyways.
Oh, I am going first?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's no secret. Like, okay, besides all the inactive, blah, 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 I'm tired of talking about that. The scavenger hunt for me was so much fun. And it was just purely because it was actually the first time I was actually on call with people and like getting to know them and talking to them. That's like, probably one of the first conversations I actually had with Zach. And you were like drunk out of your mind. But it was so nice because like I knew the game was going on, but we were just sitting there and talking. And I was like, wow, this is what I wanted. Like from the beginning, I wanted us to do like a games night or something, but I couldn't make them. So that was like just a really heartwarming and wholesome experience for me.
Awesome. Cake?
For me, I would say not game related, but just getting to know everyone and hearing their stories. Because as someone who's fairly new, I like making. Be completely honest, I don't have friends I remember. Y'all are my friends, and that's something like I envy everyone. Like just being there for me. Like I like the friendships I've made here. I hope I can talk to everyone out here because a lot of you guys, like, how can I say this without getting emotional? There's been a lot going on and IRL, and I use this as an escape. And having those connections really has prevented a lot, to say the least, especially during this game. So I hope that answers your question.
It absolutely does. Anything any of y'all would have answered the question, great. And I'm really happy you shared that. I don't want to just go into holding a knife after that. That was emotional. I'm gonna do it. Look at knife. That's it. That's all I have. Congrats to both of you. Good luck with the rest of the jury. Good luck with your closing speeches. And let's have a fun time. Thank you.
Do another drink for that. Jesus Christ. Who's gonna be drunk by the end of the finale?
Thank you so much, Timmy. Next up, we have the lovely Miss Vicky.
Not me being completely dark. This is disrespectful. Honestly, I'm just a little ghost here. Timmy was Chucky. I'm the face that appears in your morphs. I don't know. Okay. Anyways, hey girly pops. I want to start this off by saying congratulations. Y'all made it. Y'all did that shit. Y'all are here. Y'all are queer and y'all are ready to fucking persevere. And I'm proud of you guys for everything. I don't really have a question, right? Because I'm unprepared and high as fuck. So we are gonna take this a little silly and turn your frowns upside down. We heard about your first games. We heard about how you guys socialized with people. I want to know what your favorite animal is. Okay, so that's gonna be my first question here. What is your favorite animal? We're gonna start off with, I think we started off last time, so we're gonna start off with Cake.
Okay, I'm gonna pull up a picture. I absolutely, this is like a trendy person, like animal. I call them a person because they're an overall icon. But it's like my favorite.
Zootopia?
It's Moodang, a pygmy hippopotamus. They're just so cute. And I've like watched on TikTok just like watching like the little hippopotamus like running after a hose and like just trying to like bite its head off. And it's like so cutesy, so manic and chaotic. And I feel like that also represents how I feel sometimes. But yes, that's my favorite pygmy hippopotamus.
Does this animal have to be real?
No.
Okay, well, well, so I have two then. One of them is okay. It's this terrifying thing in Canada, which I don't think any of you have probably heard about. It's called the tree octopus. So this tree octopus literally lives in the trees and will like fall from the trees and like grapple people. It's literally terrifying. Anyways, the second one is from Asian mythology. It's the nine-tailed fox. It's kind of like a succubus, incubus who attracts men and then sleeps with them and then sucks their life force, you know. I want to get a tattoo actually all up over here of it. I don't know. They're just really cute foxes, to be honest, but they're, you know, a little dangerous as well.
Pop it. Now I want to know how your favorite animal ties into how you played this game and how you actually succeeded into making to final two and popping off.
Oh my gosh, she was thinking the whole time.
Right.
I mean, with the tree octopus, that was a lie. That they don't exist. It was just something that there was like this whole thing in Canada where they told us there was like a hippo that was like the size this big and they lived in your closet. It was just fake to believe not everything on the internet is real. But for the nine-tailed fox, I think that's kind of my charm in games. I've been labeled that a couple times before, where I kind of draw people in with an alluringness or like in a charming way, and then I will readily slit their throat because I have no remorse and this is a game for all of us. So I would hope that maybe perception. I mean, I did split a lot of the final twos that I made, and some of them didn't even realize. So that would be how it kind of ties in.
How my animal ties in. It's naturally adorable, and a lot of people gravitate towards that aura it may have. So I compare that to my social media, and pygmy hippopotamuses are ready to attack. Like they'll bite your kneecaps, even though it won't do any damage. They're still ready to fucking bite your kneecaps. So I was ready to do whatever it takes to get here. And how else does this represent me? I have very chubby cheeks, fucked up teeth. I'm short and round and voluptuous. And I think I showed that during this game because there were some times where I fell down and rolled down. But at the end of the day, I got back.
Pop it. Okay, lovelies. Can I get a time check? Because I don't know
You
how
have
much.
you have about 5 minutes left.
Oh, pop it.
God.
Anyway, so we're sitting here in final two. I want you guys to take a little story time with me, right? We're sitting here in final two, and you look back at the sea and the carnage that you have left behind. If there was one person that you wish that you would have kept in the game for longer and been able to, you know, break everything up for you, who is that one person that you would have saved and actually made it to the end if you were not able? This ties in a little bit with Timmy's question, but if you were not able to go with your final circle, who is that one person that you would cling on to dear life and from somebody else's circle and pray to God that everything is okay?
For me, it would be Kevin. Kevin's personality, we instantly clicked. And there was a lot of days where we would just sit on call and just we would talk about the game, obviously, but for hours we would just talk about why we do these games, why are we in this community, and like what are we looking to do. So that would be the one person, because I feel like out of everyone here, yes, I got close to everyone to a certain extent. However, Kevin was one of the main two people who always told me, fuck your nerves. You got this. Don't get in your head, because the moment you get in your head, that is the moment where your inner saboteur takes over and it's game over.
Okay. I mean, it's a little weird because you're asking the question, Vicky. I feel like it would have been you. I'm not just saying that because you're asking the question. Our conversations about smut were fucking hilarious. And honestly, if I made it to Final Four with you, I would have probably been a little more confident that I could win a competition against you. No shade, but the chakra. No, I love you. And I think that's also why I felt bad about how you left the game with me being like, oh fuck, well I just fucked up this relationship. I just genuinely think we had so much fun on call and you were like one of my favorite people to talk to and I would have loved to keep you moving forward. And I think we would have done well. I think we would have slayed.
Okay. Well, thank you. With that being said, I love how you guys pick those people. I don't know where my mind was going with that, but I love you guys. Okay, be proud of yourselves. I was gonna be coming in here like berating you guys like Thor, but I don't have the muscles for that, and I'm also way too exhausted to hold a hammer. So I will love you guys from afar. Whoever wins, wins. Whoever loses, loses. This is just a game, and we will always be friends after the game. If you guys still want to be my friends, just hit me up. It's okay. I'm free almost every day. I have no friends. It's fine. Anyways, I love you guys. I'm gonna go smoke and eat my little Wendy's alone. And have fun with the rest of this jury.
Prod, before we get into the next juror, can we have like a washroom break? Please? Please? Please?
Can we get through the rest of the jurors and go after the jury questioning before final speeches?
Fine. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Vicky. Let's move very quickly on and welcome in Kevin.
Hello to you both. It's crazy because I feel like we literally just saw each other. Like all these people, it's like, oh my God, haven't seen you in 2 weeks. Haven't seen you guys in what, like 4 days? But no, in general, very happy to see both of you here. Normally I come into like finales and I'm just like really fucking frustrated and annoyed, and I will say this. There are some things I'm definitely frustrated about that I will get into. But what I will say is that, look, we can bitch and moan all we want about the fact that like your circle fucking ran the game, but you did, and you're here, and clearly it worked. And like, look, do I like what you did? Fuck no. No, I'm not a fan of the way your circle played the game. I don't really think I don't really think the circle strong is necessarily the best way to play this game. I think if you had just focused on each other and then try to venture outside of your circle, I think that would have been better. But again, it worked for you, and that is what matters at the end. And one of you is going to win this game because of it, and you should be proud of yourself. That said, for me, the big thing, and look, one of you know this because I literally said this on my way out. My big thing coming into this is all about the fact that, like, yes, you guys were a circle and you played together, but you're not in your circle anymore. Yes, you're in your circle, but this is not a vote for your circle. This is a vote for V or for Cake. And my whole thing is, what did each of you do to stand out inside of your circle? What is the move that you made that you think propelled you forward, regardless of your help, if it helped your circle or not? What did you do to make it to this point? And either of you can start.
I'll start.
Okay.
I will say, Mouth almighty is the word to describe me. And that's what I feel like helped me out with some of my social game. If there was a plan that my circle was doing and I wasn't with it, I went to set individuals and say, let's shake shit up. Let's do this. And Kevin, you remember I came to you and I said, they're trying to get you out. Me personally, I don't fucking want that. I wanted Zoe out because Zoe was my biggest competition. You know, I would have rather had to go into a final five rather than a final four because I was the lowest person on the circle. I also was driving forces outside of my circle. They would be like, oh, should we do this? Should we do that? I went outside my circle and say, do you want to take a shot? Are you with me? Are we going to load our snipers? Are we going to take the shot and hope it doesn't miss? Or are we going to just sit with our fingers in it? And I feel like that's the thing that separates me from my circle. I was vocal. I made sure if there was a plan, I needed to make sure it was in motion and that there was no fucking things.
Okay, V.
So we're asking what separated me from like my circle, right?
Yes. What got you to this point, regardless of like, let's say your circle imploded, but you're still here. What is the move that you think made sure that you are still sitting in this place?
As much as I've been talking about how shit my social game was, I think it was pretty good. And like, yes, it was in my inner circle, but it was at Final 7 when I volunteered to be on the block. Most people know the number one rule is you never volunteer to be on the block because the pawn goes home. And I feel like that is really when I really cashed in all the relationships that I had with people, but also managed to maintain them. I had made so many empty promises at this point. I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna fucking get through this. I really don't. I'm gonna have to betray someone's trust. But I managed to get out my target and I managed to keep everyone's trust throughout that, which I think is really important. And how do I separate myself from the game that my circle played? It's hard for me to say that because a lot of my game was within my circle. It was positioning myself so that I was never targeted by anyone. But what I do think I made apparent is that if I was on the block against anyone in my circle, Cameron, Zoe, Cake, Alex, I'm 90% sure I would have stayed. Actually, maybe that's a little too confident, but I'm pretty sure I had a good chance at staying at all of them. So I managed to like manage my threat level so I was always, I guess, at the bottom, though I don't think I actually was.
Okay, and I think really my only question, because here's the thing, most of the questions I was going to ask at this point have already been asked. So I think the only thing left for me is that the one thing I think that's really going to help me, because I will be honest, I think that, I came into this kind of feeling like I knew what I was going to do. And then the way answers have gone tonight, now I'm a little bit more open in terms of the way things are going. So I need each of you to go ahead and just talk about why the other player should not win. Because I feel like, honestly, that's what's going to possibly determine my vote here. So you can say, what you think this person didn't do well, that you did better, anything like that. Either of you can start.
First, peace and love with whatever we say. Do you want to go first, Jake, or do you want me to go
Peace,
first?
love, and happiness, however you're going first.
I can go first, yeah. So I was gonna leave this till the end. I'll say it now. There's a big reason as to why I picked Cake to come to the final two with me. And I think that was because of conversation I had with Scott and Alex at the end. I don't think that Cake is necessarily as much of a mastermind as they thought they were. For example, the Sanam vote, I don't think Cake wanted to keep Sanam for most of the time. It wasn't me either. It was Zoe who put in most of the work. I think there's a lot of things that have been claimed that might not necessarily be all that Cake did, like getting big threats out like John. I think that collectively everyone was like, no, we got to get that target out. So that's just how I view it. I'm sorry, I love you. But I think that Cake, was maybe a little cockier coming into this.
The question is, why should I win over my opponent?
Yeah, why should V not win and you should?
Because realistically, I don't want to repeat myself and say comms and social media. I feel like if we look at the game overall, let's look at who had bigger impacts. Let's look at the storylines. Let's look at who said what, who did what. that is the ultimate thing that it comes down to. Who did what, when they did it, how they did it, and was it successful? And I feel like I'm not getting enough credit for what is happening. Yes, I did want to keep Sanam. However, that first night when Sanam was on the block, I immediately went to other people and said, as much as it pains me to do it, we have to take this fucking shot. I said that with any comp piece that was on the block, because at the end of the day, I wasn't going to make the collective if they were still in the game. I had to rip everyone to shreds. And I feel like, no shade to V, V didn't rip as many people apart as I did. I have the most blood on my hands. And that is why I should run over V.
Okay. Look, I was gonna say, I was actually gonna give you a follow-up question and say, can you give me a specific example? But you just did. So I don't have any reason to do that. What I will say, like I said, congrats to the both of you. You both are really great. Like I said, this was a really fun experience all around. I do think, whichever of you doesn't win, it really does just come down, I think, to answers and things like that. But keep your heads up. You're both doing great. And we will see who ends up winning. All right.
Okay, I'm so sorry, Jeremy. I really need to pee.
Hurry up.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I mean, what's the difference between now and later? I'll be back in.
Next up is Scott. Scott, once V comes back and you start talking, I'll start your time.
Okay. Do you guys like my costume?
Yes, I love it.
I'm at a
Spooky,
Halloween
scary
party with you
stuff.
gathered.
Happy
Imagine-
Halloween.
Imagine if I wasn't at a Halloween party and I was just dressed like this.
I would still say you look good.
I also have a knife.
We love that. What are you going to do with that knife is the question.
I've just been waving it around and pointing at people with it.
Oh, we love that. We love running around with knives and making them.
I wonder how long it's going to take V to pee.
I'm back. I'm sorry.
Oh, that was fast.
I don't know why people thought I was going to be long. The washroom is literally right behind me.
Did you wash your hands?
Yes.
No, that's my question. Did you wash your hands? No, I'm just kidding.
Yes. With your
Okay.
blood.
Scott, I will start your time when you start talking now.
Hello, all. I have one question for each of you. Cake, you are first. So you've said numerous times tonight and throughout the game that you had a good social game. And I don't disagree with you. I think that you did have a good social game for the first half of the game. Once we got into the second half, a couple things happened that I'm a little curious about. The first one was when you were in the bottom two and you ended up being safe. You came to Caitlin and Kevin rather aggressively trying to figure out who was the one of them that voted for you. And in that phone call where the three of us were trying to kind of de-escalate the situation, I made the point of like both Kevin and Caitlin had been on the bottom two times each. And then later on in the game, as things got closer to the end, you made numerous statements or deals with people saying that you were going to do this, that, or the other thing, and then didn't follow through, which suggests one of two things. Either that you had no intention of following through on those things, or that you had made too many deals with too many people and could not follow through on those things. So I want to know, how does those instances fit into a good social game?
I will say this, the first time I was on the block, I was very shocked that I had votes because everyone said that there was no way I was going home. Even though I heard of a plan that potentially one of my circle members was going to turn on me and I was going to get votes from you guys. You guys were just going to cut me. I will say I go into things very hot-headed, and that's something I definitely need to work on. However, do I regret the way I came off? Yes. However, could I change my words? Absolutely. But I feel like that statement still, I tried to play an honest game and said where I was voting. And to be told right before, I got you, you're not going anywhere, you're not getting any votes, and then I get stray votes. I already knew I was getting one, but having a second one, I had a giant question. And then, what was the second part to your question?
What was the second to my opinion? I'm just curious how these things fit into a good social game.
I will say, was I willing to turn my circle? Absolutely. I was 100% meaning when I said, when Caitlin was on the block against me, I was trying to get Alex to turn against our circle to get V out. Because at the end of the day, we all knew V and Zoe had a final two. I would have much rather narrowed down my spot and just said, listen, I'm going to cut this deal. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. However, I'm trying my hardest. And to be told that it was going to make me look bad and I was going to be the only vote against me would have been wild. It wouldn't have done anything. So I wouldn't say I made promises I couldn't keep. I did my best to make promises and tried my best to uphold them to the best of my capabilities. Could I have said last minute it's not going to happen? Absolutely. We're all human. We all make mistakes, and I feel like that's my biggest mistake. However, as my social game as a whole, I feel like yes, there were some qualms and mistakes. However, should one or two mistakes uphold my entire social game? Absolutely.
Thanks. You look great, by the way. V, my question for you. I've been trying to follow along with what people are texting me as we go. I don't know if anybody has made the statement that it seems like both of you were a little, I don't want to say necessarily passive, but like had an easier time getting to the end because you had a circle that kind of carried you there. Obviously, there was a point where both Zoe and Alex wanted to take you to the end. And the reason Alex didn't want to take Cake is because he did not think that he could beat her, which suggests that he thought he could beat you. So I want to know, had you been sitting next to Zoe or Alex, who both thought they could beat you, what would your pitch have been to prove that you could beat them? And if you don't have an answer, if you don't think you could have beaten them, tell me what you would have had to do differently in order to do that.
So in final two, like what would I have been telling everyone, basically?
Yeah, like if right now you were sitting next to Zoe or Alex, how would you ensure that you win when both of them were pretty sure that they were going to beat you?
You know, Zoe is a hard one because Zoe was a fantastic player. She was strong. She's immune. But I personally am a person who thinks that just because you win immunity every time doesn't mean that you necessarily deserve to win or make it further. It's harder to play when you're not winning immunity all the time, and it's actually harder to maneuver. And also with Zoe, she knew half the cast coming into this game. I didn't have that privilege, which is why she got so much information, but I've still managed to forge powerful connections. And I think that has to be accounted for when you look at finals. When it comes to Alex, I mean, I to be honest, I always thought I could beat Alex. I think I had a pretty good chance. Most of my game was just, whenever I was talking to him, I would tell him how bad my game was and play down how my threat level and build up Cake as well and Zoe as these huge threats and how we only had a chance to go against each other, which is why he ended up turning up final 6. I do think I had a better social game than Alex because I would at least message people and try to say good morning or how are you doing, and I don't think Alex would even try that. I don't know if that's true. That's what he told me, so maybe I'm the fool here and he was lying to me, but it seems like I was having more conversations than him. So I think I could have put in that. And also me and Alex were the same mindset of how collective our group was when it came to a lot of things. I think it would have been an even fight, but I think I had a smaller advantage.
Thanks. You also look great. This is a question. This is just a statement. I was really happy to play this game. I had a lot of fun. And like you two are two people that I got really close to playing this. And I'm so happy for that. And I'm so excited for both of you. I hope we can still be friends after this, because I know that happens a lot where a game ends and you just don't talk to people anymore. But I really would love to continue to be friends with you guys. And I hope that we see each other around the servers. But that's all I have. Congratulations.
God, who invited him? Oh. Oh, not the knife.
I'm ready. How do I get out of here? There we go.
Okay, thank you very much, Scott. It is time for our final juror, Alex, which can't be here, I believe. But we do have host Timmy to read out a message and some questions.
Why did we put Alex on the jury?
That's crazy. Hi V, hi Cake. You both look lovely tonight. Let me go see what Alex sent. Okay. On behalf of Alex, hi y'all. Sorry I can't be there. Thanks for letting me be on the jury mere minutes after you lied to me for 2 weeks about your endgame plans. Definitely the right choice for juror. In all seriousness, I respect the decision. I don't respect the way y'all went about it, but I love you both regardless. I am someone that always says that if I can't win as me, then I don't want to win.
which means acknowledging my own flaws and how to deal with them when they come up. I don't hide from my personality quirks. I don't adjust the poor parts of my gameplay. I deal with the aftermath in the ways I know how. Because if I've learned anything in the past few years, is that I need to live my life authentically, and I extend that to games. My question to both of you is this: do you believe you were your authentic selves in this game? If you were, what are the flaws and how did you adjust? And if not, why not? I feel both of you land on the opposite sides of the coins, and your answers very much determine my vote.
Thanks, Alex. Do you want to go or?
Of course, you're asleep.
How do I feel? This is a loaded question. Wow, that got deep. I guess to an extent, I would say this was more of my authentic self. Full transparency, when I was 10, my dad called my whole family sociopaths. That's a different story. But I feel like the conversations that I had with people were very genuinely me. Like when we were talking about more interesting things, like I said, talking about smut with Vicky, talking about life with Scott, things like that were very authentic and very me. And then when it came to a game, I did lie a lot in things, but I am very competitive as a person, and I know that I am, and I will do what I have to do, and I'm generally rather cutthroat. In a competitive setting, I am able to separate the two and like have no hard feelings. So I do think I kind of did represent myself authentically. What my flaw would be is that not realizing that other people maybe don't think the same way that I do. People can think things a little more personally. People can, like, it's a different way to interpret how I interact with them when you mix game and personal. Because for me, it's easy. Other people might not. So maybe probably my flaw is not being able to take that into account, which I think is also a lot of why like my jury management might not be the best. Just because for me, it's different. I don't know. That's all I can really say.
I can say this. Every time I play, I always play my authentic self. This season, I show the good, the bad, the ugly, and sometimes the positive and the negative. Were there moments where I might have came off passive aggressive because I was angry in the moment? Absolutely. And that's something I've always struggled with is if someone gives me the word to not take it personal if they go against you. And it's really difficult for me to separate what's personal and what is game. So me, I take everything personally. As a person who struggles with making connections, IRL, and managing my mood and temper, it's very difficult, and I think this season I showed that. I think my biggest flaw would be my temper and trying to keep my cool in that game.
Can I add to my answer? Is that allowed? I love you, Cake, by the way.
There's still time left, so
I'm gonna add one more thing to my answer, because now I had time to think. Just another thing, I think the way I present, and I've heard this a lot in other games, is I come across as very aloof and maybe game body. I don't know if that's true, but I definitely come off as aloof. I think a lot of people take it as me not caring and not being serious. But I'm just a person who keeps my emotions to myself. I'm envious of people like Cake who can feel those emotions and express them, because that's what I love to see, the vulnerability. And like, Cake, love you. I wish I could do it like other people could. So my aloofness, I think, can come across as me not caring. I'm disingenuine. But I really do care, and I just don't know how to show or maybe express that at times. And then when I am faced with that, what do? I avoid it. When I was avoiding telling people, it's because I didn't know how to deal with that situation. And it's just a hard thing for me to come by. So I do think, after all this, it is a very authentic representation of who I am and what I am and where I am and how I am. Are you doing okay, Kate?
Huh?
Are you doing okay?
I'll be okay. That question just really hit me.
No, I know. Who knew Alex was capable of something like that?
That's all we have from Alex. So unless you two have any more to add to your answers, we're going to cut the time. All right. Thank you, V, and thank you, Kate. At this time, we're going to go to your final speeches.
No, I didn't think this far ahead. Is it me first?
Yeah.
Do I start? Or what's happening? Do I start? Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Sorry. A wise man in this game once told me that you need a story at the end of the game if you want to make it through it. And a story that represents you and your journey. For me, the collective was only a part of a minuscule journey that I've had in my entire org career. I started this org career with Rayanne, love her if you're watching, love you, who inspired me so much to be my authentic self and to identify and be what we wanted. And we made a pact that we would make it to the end together and have representation. And throughout the past 2 years, I have fought tooth and nail to try to make that happen. Rest in peace, Shelby, rest in peace, Rayanne, but that was my whole goal and my whole motivation coming into orgs. It never came to fruition that I would make it to the end with another beautiful trans woman. And I'm so happy to be here with Cake, and I can't express my gratitude for the way that we handled each other. My game was looking out for the both of us because I wanted us here, and I'm so happy we're here. And I'm so happy that this dream and this representation can be important. So I just want to say that as a start, because that was really important to me. And then I messaged Rayanne and I said, I finally did it. And you know what she said to me? She said, beat that other bitch to the ground. So I think coming into this game, I really didn't know what to expect. I didn't think I would make it this far. I didn't think I would have the activeness, the chops. But as soon as I realized I could, I put it into high gear. I tried to make up for lost time when I could. I tried my hardest to rebuild connections that I couldn't have maybe built at the beginning and do what I could. My story is one of persevering for the last 2 years and getting in a mindset where I wasn't sure what I was capable of and what I was doing. But when I realized what I could do and what we could do as people was making it to the end and showing that we can be strong, we can work our way to the end. And even, yes, we had a blessed circle. No lies there. I capitalized on that where I could to make sure I was always in the best position. And I think that is just as commendable as working from the bottom to the top, is capitalizing the hand you are given to make sure that you make it to the end. And I feel like I did that. Regardless, I love Cake. I love this cast. I love everyone. Thank you for a wonderful season. And however this turns out, I will love everyone.
I don't know how I could follow up with that, but I'm going to give it my all. I'm ready for my time journey. Whoever's
Thank you.
Being completely honest and transparent. Words are not my strong suit. I struggled for the past few days trying to form an opening speech. And I had something written down, but I'm going to ignore that and just speak from my heart. I feel like I embodied this game. I feel like I poured my heart and my soul into this game. No matter how my circle was, if we were good at shit. I wanted to make sure I, at the end of the day, was good. I am very hard on myself. And a lot of people have seen it in this game. A lot of people know it. I'm extremely tough and hard on myself. I'm a perfectionist at heart, even though I don't look like it. I feel like my journey throughout this game has been remarkable for myself. I feel like you all should vote for me based off of the facts that based off the fact that I just gave it my all week after week after week after week. Even if I was doubting myself, even if I didn't have that fuck ass balloon, why the fuck was there a balloon on the supply list? But in all seriousness, I'm immensely proud of myself, and I'm also proud of V. And I've never seen two trans people or trans identifying people in the final, and so thankful I'm part of this history. But at the end of the day, I have shown how badly, really badly, how I want this so bad. Even if I don't win, even if all of y'all vote for V, at the end of the day, I know I'm a winner. But I feel like my actions, my moves, my social game can speak for itself. I don't want to tear V down on this. I don't want to say how V didn't have any plans or anything. All I can say is look at who made the best moves, who at the end of the day played the best game, and who overall embodied the fuck out of this game. And I believe that is me. So thank you all so much for listening.
All right. Thank you, V, and thank you, Kate, for those final speeches. At this time, I'm going to ask that all the past members of the collective please go to your pod chat and vote on who you would like to see be the winner of the collective 3-season espionage.
Are we doing like we'll wait to reveal that, but we'll do the other awards? Are
No,
there
it'll
other
be,
awards?
it'll be winner and then other awards.
There are other awards though. Okay. Good luck, Kate. Good luck.
We're also going to invite any pre-jury who wants to come back and be here for the winner results. And once you have voted, you are good to be on cam and talking with the phone too.
My God, it's Chucky. Everybody run.
Oh no, my wig.
Uh-oh.
My cheap ass Farrell. Put the wig on.
Damn.
What wig? Did I miss something?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, who
John,
are you?
we have a finale to get to. I don't know if you know.
Shit. I was busy sleeping and I forgot my balloon. Hold on.
Okay.
Damn.
I started a trendsetter right there. It's going to happen every season now. There's going to be one person.
Just Kevin things, you know?
Oh, yeah. Kevin things, sleeping through a challenge and then missing the first 5 minutes of jury roundtable.
Oh, you did?
At least you didn't actively sob in the middle of the challenge.
What challenge?
I would have preferred to stay asleep.
When did you sob during a challenge?
Wait, which challenge?
Caitlin!
Oh.
Hey, can I ask, John, what are you dressed as?
Oh my God, Caitlin.
Or did you just put a wig on?
This is just my extra personality tonight.
Perfect, love
I
it.
had my boa too, but I was molting a bit. The feathers are going everywhere right now. So
Okay, I'm stupid. I thought
I'm just
when you
happy to
said
have
Caitlin,
eyebrows
you meant,
for
like,
once.
a challenge that Caitlin was in. It was the one you were crying during.
Honestly. I was the live night, I think.
Assassins cry
Oh,
for
who
other
wasn't crying
assassins.
during the
That's how
live
it works.
night?
Even if
My
we're
God.
not official assassins, we are assassins at heart.
which I'm assuming you're talking the second live night. I was drinking while you all were suffering during that. So
That was a rough night. I mean, the
Caitlin-
second one
we were
was
just
like,
Second live
Caitlin
night was
robbed.
great. We got camera now.
Dead.
Caitlin is the robbed pre-jury
Oh,
of the
yeah.
season.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. After John's speech was saying there was gonna be a lot more spice, there was not a lot more spice. I got scared, though.
People were going to be spicier. Plus, Alex was supposed to be here too. So
I debated being spicier, but that just takes so much.
I mean, the problem is like the things I wanted to say that were going to be like really like spicy, like the questions were already said. So it was
what I had to say wasn't going to cause a forward momentum, so I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I
I
came
tried to
in.
look at myself instead. I should have made y'all do the scavenger hunt. That would have been fun.
Oh my god. Wait, where was the attack, repair, defend?
Oh my gosh.
Kevin, I still don't understand what the reference you were making about me was earlier.
Wait, well, oh, the scavenger hunt.
Okay, it was that? That's what I thought.
Yeah. That's
But
why I said pull a Timmy.
I was like, people remember the things they do in
You
orcs?
literally made them
That was
do
like a year ago.
a challenge on call. Yeah, for a game I wasn't even present.
That's why I was like, that's the only thing I know I did. But would Kevin remember this and reference it?
Listen, it's the things I choose to remember. And not the things.
Fucking work. Seb, this is your camera.
Yes. Oh my god, Seb.
I finally found my camera.
Oh shit.
Yay!
Is it there? I'm not.
I don't know, it's off.
Yeah.
I found it.
All right, so is this another round of interviews?
Wait.
Where's
Is
the
this
microphone?
thing-
Yes.
Is that my camera?
Yes.
Period.
We'll have our
Oh yeah,
results.
I still have this on non-video participants, so I can't see fucking anybody that's coming in. Hold on.
Timmy, were you trying to say something?
It's been a theme of the season. We'll have results in about 1 minute.
Oh.
And the way it's usually me
I don't know,
that's
Nick, I
talking
don't
over.
say HR.
I had to pull up one last sign.
Oh my god.
Where's my? Oh, I think I threw out my cake for HR sign.
I should have.
I
should have
lost
asked.
my cake. I lost my HR sign. I'm so mad.
I should have
Yes,
asked
cake
Kate
for
what's
HR.
her favorite
And then this was
sign.
during live night when I needed to learn how to spell espionage.
Oh my god.
So was Alex just like fully absent, or was he still messaging, or is he just?
No,
like,
he was pretty active in
He
the
was
chat. He
alive.
just wasn't able to listen to
Yeah.
the call.
He was scared.
Rest in peace.
Nobody was more active than Vicky though. Holy shit.
Vicky
If there
was our scribe for tonight for anybody that had to miss anything.
Yes.
Yeah, if there were
While she
episode
was
titles
high.
for if there are episode titles for this, I feel like the episode title for the finale would be why did we put Alex on
Yeah,
the jury?
That was so good.
I screamed.
Also, full transparency, Cake literally just talked about how much she hated all of you during the jury roundtable or the rites of passage.
I did not.
No, she didn't. She didn't.
Wow.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Wow.
Rise of Passages was so funny because the early outs, me and you were just like, who are these people?
All right, everyone, we do have the results, so we are going to get into it. As a reminder, tonight you want to see your name and you need your name said at least 5 times to win. Our first vote from Nick is for V to win the collective season 3. Our next vote from Rachel is for V to win the collective season 3. Our next vote from Zach is for Cake to win the collective season 3. The vote is currently 2-1. The next vote from John is for V to win the collective season 3. The next vote from Timmy is for V to win the collective season 3. One more vote and V wins. The next vote from Vicky, Scott, Kevin, and Alex. Congratulations, V. You have won the collective season 3 by a vote of 8-1.
I guess I just want to say thank you, everyone. But most importantly, I want to say great game to Cake. Cake, you fucking killed it. You were amazing. And it was an honor to get to play with you and to get to play with everyone. And cheers!
Congratulations, V.
Cheers.
And also, congratulations to Keek. You both played an awesome game. We really appreciated all of you guys playing this season. And just thank you guys for being such a fun cast and for only talking over us like 75% of the time. The other 25% is crazy. With that in mind, just give us a second and we're going to start the awards for postseason.